Welcome to Scrum Masters Elite _UK. Explore the spirit of pushing boundaries, continuous growth. Sign up now.
In elite sports, people often focus only on the final result. If a player performs well, they are celebrated. If they make a mistake, doubts arise immediately. But what I clearly sense in Fainga'anuku is that he is willing to make sacrifices. He accepts having every step, every defensive move, every moment of fatigue on the field scrutinized just to discover where his own limits lie. I think many outsiders tend to judge too quickly. After just a few matches, some have already questioned whether he should be considered for the All Blacks. But almost immediately, counter-arguments appear to bring the discussion back to reality. This reflects a familiar truth in life: when someone begins to shine, society often splits into two extremes. On one side, there are exaggerated expectations; on the other, efforts to prove that the success is only temporary. Interestingly, both sides have their reasons. Supporters see in Fainga'anuku an explosion of energy, a fresh force, and the ability to create breakthroughs that not every player possesses.
They see a person willing to experiment, willing to step into a role that demands immense work and extreme discipline. In a contact-heavy sport like rugby, a player who changes positions while still remaining effective is already admirable, but the other side is not wrong either in emphasizing that international rugby is a completely different level. What works at the club level might not hold up under the intense pressure of international test matches. A moment of fatigue, a half-second delay in reading the game, can be enough to separate a good player from a true legend. I particularly notice experts making comparisons between Fainga'anuku and Anton Segner. This isn't mockery but rather a reminder that every position in rugby has brutally specific demands. A player may be strong, fast, and offensively capable, but to become a world-class wing, he also needs endurance, game-reading skills, and the ability to process situations throughout the full 80 minutes. Many might perceive such comments as cold. But if viewed fairly, they are the honesty necessary in professional sports. Legends like Richie McCaw or Sam Cane were not recognized for a few great games.
They are remembered for sustaining excellence over many years under the immense pressure of international rugby. This makes me reflect a lot on how modern people often react to success. We live in an era where everything happens too fast. A player has a few outstanding matches and is hailed as a savior. But just one underwhelming performance, and the same people who praised him suddenly doubt him. This impatience exists not only in sports but also in work, study, and daily life. Perhaps the greatest lesson is this: real development always takes time. No one becomes an expert in a few weeks. No one reaches world-class level from just a few moments of brilliance. What matters is not a perfect game but the ability to improve continuously after each challenge. I respect Fainga'anuku especially for not shying away from pressure. He stepped into a new role under the gaze of everyone. Every mistake is analyzed publicly on television.
Yet instead of being afraid, he continues to play with utmost dedication. This is a quality not only athletes but anyone in life should learn from. Sometimes we are too afraid of failure to try something new. We want to be certain of success before we begin. But elite sports show the opposite. People only grow when they dare to face challenges with no guarantees. I also think fans bear a significant responsibility in how they perceive athletes. Cheering is wonderful, but idolizing someone excessively can become an invisible pressure. By placing someone on a pedestal too quickly, we inadvertently burden them with expectations beyond their current capabilities. And when they cannot meet them, public disappointment follows easily. A civilized sporting community not only knows how to celebrate victory, but also how to be patient with the development process of a person. In fact, the debates around Fainga'anuku also reflect the unique beauty of New Zealand rugby. This is an environment where standards are extremely strict.
To be deemed worthy of wearing the All Blacks jersey, talent alone is not enough. A player must prove resilience under pressure, consistency, and adaptability to the highest speed of the sport. It is precisely this strictness that has maintained New Zealand rugby's level for generations. Behind the tactical debates is a 26-year-old athlete striving to reinvent his career. A real human being, with real pressure, with a desire to prove himself like everyone else in the world. We often forget that athletes also get tired, feel pressure, and are hurt by extreme judgments. They are not video game characters to be judged by a few moments. They are people who dedicate their youth to pursuing their passion in a brutally competitive environment. The more I think about it, the more I realize that the greatest value of sports is not the scoreboard. The most beautiful aspect is its ability to inspire people to surpass their own limits. Witnessing a player dare to change positions, to learn, and to accept judgment in order to improve reminds us that we, too, should not fear change.
Fainga'anuku may not yet be a perfect wing, He may still have many gaps to reach the level of legends. But that does not diminish the value of his journey. On the contrary, those gaps make the story more authentic and relatable. Because real life is not a journey of perfect people. It is the journey of those who dare to try, dare to fail, and dare to keep moving forward. I believe this is also an important lesson for humanity in today's highly competitive era. We need to learn to evaluate people by the whole process, not just a few moments. We need to learn to encourage growth rather than merely seek mistakes. And most importantly, we must understand that all great achievements begin with imperfect steps. In a society where many choose safety, this spirit deserves respect. And who knows, whatever Fainga'anuku's future holds in the number 7 position, this journey may still stand as proof that humans are capable of far more change than we ever imagined.
Dare to try, dare to make mistakes, and keep moving forward. Thank you for accompanying us at Scrum Masters Elite _UK.